Whoa, that was not right. Not even a little bit. Hello and welcome to the One Stop Show. Whoa, that was not right. Not even a little bit. Let's try that again. Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop Streamed, your one stop for co-op news and playthroughs. Today we are doing Risky Business, which is a Green Goblin. It's Green Goblin 1, the first Green Goblin pack. We have added into the deck, we have added the Ronin expansion, which is called Kree Fanatic. So we've got that in there. So we have definitely challenged ourselves today. Spider-Man is one of the better heroes in the game because he comes out swinging, no pun intended. All right, maybe there was a little bit of a pun intended. But basically starts right from the beginning of the game. Pretty powerful. Now, the Risky Business enemy set is not thought of as one of the harder sets. It's actually thought of as one of the easier sets, so that's part of the reason. Oh, you know what? Let me give him Goblin Gimmicks as well. I believe that's what this one is. A double check. Yep, let me add Goblin Gimmicks as well. And adding a second modular encounter is certainly, talked about in this set. You can add more than one. And that way, it's a little more goblin-y as well. And it'll make it a little bit easier. It won't just be the Kree Fanatics. So let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the scenarios. So this is thought of as one of the easier scenarios in the game, and that's because when they are on this Norman Osborn side, so he actually switches like we do from Norman Osborn to Green Goblin. When on this Norman Osborn side, it's pretty easy to just thwart and kind of hang out and not do a whole lot. But the thing that we do to make it a little bit harder, it's a little bit of a house rule, is we pretend like this criminal enterprise is a crisis, meaning you will not be able to thwart the main scheme as long as they are on this criminal enterprise side. So when it flips over, they both flip over. We'll talk about the mechanics of all that in a little bit, but first, let's start with the briefing. Risky Business, Shield Briefing. Hello, heroes. As you know, Norman Osborn is a ruthless businessman and head of a multinational corporation, Oscorp. We also have intel that he's fueling a large criminal organization. Dun dun dun! Unfortunately, Osborn has set his sights on purchasing a failing branch of Stark Industries. Not only would this bring a surge to Oscorp stock, but we're certain he plans to use the Stark tech to enhance his criminal enterprise. While directly taking down Osborn is out of the question, we think that you can provoke Osborn by targeting his criminal enterprise, forcing his alter ego, the Green Goblin, to come out and play. So, I find it funny that you're going to take... He's like going for this failing branch, and that's going to boost his stock prices somehow. Yeah, that typically happens in business. You buy failing branches of companies, and it boosts your stock price. Now, we know, if you've seen the movies, that this is like where they're like housing a lot of the technologies that aren't being brought out to the public, the Iron Man stuff. But I just think it's funny that, that this is the one thing that they're doing. All right, so there's no theme on this side, but Hostile Takeover. Jerry says the obsession continues. That is correct. Well, and this is a makeup game because last Friday we did Marvel Champions, and it was a great game. Really came down to the end. We ended up pulling it out, and nobody got to see it because our audio got all messed up and everything else. So we are doing it live today just so you guys can catch the whole story if you want to watch through our stream, through our YouTube channel. One Stop Co-op Shop Streamed is the name of the YouTube channel. If you want to go there, you can watch from beginning to end. We want to have every single enemy in there, and right now we don't have Norman Osborn. This week we are going to take on the second form of Goblin, so wanted you guys to be able to see the first one. All right, Norman Osborn holds a board meeting, plotting to take over a branch of Stark Industries. All right, so when completed, place 1 times the number of player infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. So that's over here. Then discard a card. So when this gets to 7, we'll have to do that. It's at 2 right now. We're not going to worry about it right now because we don't have to. All right, Forced Interrupt. When Norman Osborn would attack, place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise instead. So instead of attacking, he is going... So if we're on our hero side, he is going to dig deeper and deeper into this Criminal Enterprise. And that's why it's typically pretty easy because you can just let them do that over and over while you just build up as much as you need to and then go after it all at once if you can thwart. But we're saying when we're on this criminal enterprise side, we cannot thwart. So that's the one change to the rules that we're making that makes it much more interesting. All right, force interrupt. When Norman Osborn would take any amount of damage, remove that many infamy counters instead. So we're going to need to do 2 damage to get him to flip over and go on that State of Madness side and Green Goblin side. And when we get there, we'll talk about what happens, which will be hopefully pretty soon. All right, so Spider-Man, on the Peter Parker side, he gets a free resource each round. Seems pretty good. So let's draw our opening hand to 6 and see where we are at. Helicarrier, I do like seeing that early. Now, if you guys saw, this is my animal-themed deck, so I do have a lot of that stuff. After your hero attacks and defeats an enemy, oh, that's not going to happen. So let's, not early. When your hero makes a basic attack, it's +2, don't need that. Would like to have Spider-Girl out, because she can go ahead and attack, and I like that Helicarrier. So right now, those are the 2 things I'm leaning toward. Let's go ahead and draw 4 more cards, so we're up to our hand of 6. Oh, Lockjaw! Who's a good Lockjaw? Alright, so I'm going to spend the Lockjaw. I am going to spend my 1 free resource, and I'm going to get rid of Enhance Spider Sense to put in the Helicarrier. Alrighty, so that's a free resource. That's good to have. And on the Spider-Man side, when your villain initiates attack against you, draw a card. So that means if I stun them or there's no way for them to make an attack, I don't get that card. But, I mean, a hand size of 5 plus drawing 1 is pretty good. So let's see what happens next. I could get +1 attack for the rest of the game. I do want to do that, but first I want to put out Spider-Girl. So I'm going to do 1, 2 to pull out Spider-Girl. And response, after you play Spider-Girl from your hand, stun and confuse a minion. Well, no minions, that's okay. I want her for the 2 attack and for the blocking. And I'm just going to leave this card in my hand. So first things first, we're going to attack for 2 with Spider-Girl. So that means she will take a damage for doing that attack. And because of that, that does 2 damage, remember, takes 2 off of Criminal Enterprises, which would flip it. State of Madness. Enters play with 2 per player, madness counters on it. If there are no madness counters, flip Green Goblin and State of Madness. Alright, so when this goes away, and he'll do things to take away his madness, but right now we've provoked him. I'm not really sure what the theme is there, but we attack something to provoke him. When revealed, deal 4 indirect damage to each player. Oi! So that's each time they get flipped over, we're going to be taking that 4 damage, which is not great. So hopefully we get Aunt May here soon to help deal with that. When Green Goblin would scheme, remove a madness counter from State of Madness instead. So if I'm on my alter ego side, instead of scheming, he just removes 1 counter from this. So that's not too bad. Alrighty. So first things first though, gonna attack me. I am gonna block. Oh, forgot to untap everything, and I forgot to draw my cards. So let's do that before we go any further. Alrighty, ooh, some web shooters, Mockingbird, ooh, enhance Spider Sense. Here, when Treachery card is revealed with the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. Gonna hold on to that in the back of my mind because, you know, Treachery cards can be very, very bad. Alright, first things first though, we're gonna add 1 threat to the scheme, then gonna attack me for 4, which will be blocked by Spider-Girl. Thank you, Spider-Girl. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so hired gun. 2 more damage, so it would have been 6 damage. Ow, that would have actually just killed me. And place 1 infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. If you can't, remove a madness counter instead. Alright, so there you go. Ouch, that would have been a brutal one, but thankfully don't have to deal with that. Thankfully, Spider-Girl to the rescue. Alright. Now, next thing is we're going to take a card, and if it's a Treachery card, I can cancel it. Alright, it is. When revealed, choose to either spend 2 resources of any type or give a villain 1 face-down boost card. Okay. I am just going to spend 2 resources. Here we go. 2 resources. Done. Because, I mean, it would have been the same as Enhance. Actually, you know what? Not done. I'm going to play Enhanced Spider Sense. I'll use my Helicarrier to get rid of Enhanced Spider Sense. So that's basically 2 resources anyway, but I'm going to do it that way. Alrighty, back to my turn. And there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do here. I'd love to get Mockingbird out. think that's what I'm gonna do. But first, I'd like to get my web shooters out. All right, so gonna do that to get my web shooters out. This gives me 3 resources. So it starts with 3 counters on it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use one of those right away, and my genius to... Am I? Yeah, I'll stay on this side for one more turn. To get out Mockingbird. Am I? Because I could use my free resource on the other side instead of using this resource. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I still have 3 over here. I have 2 attack, which I'm going to do. Oh, so Mockingbird is not out yet. So hold on, let me draw this card, draw this card. I have not put Mockingbird out yet. I'm going to attack for 2. So 1, 2 damage. And I am going to then flip and spend 1, 2 plus my free resource I get from my Peter Parker side. Oh, when they attacked me, I never drew a card. Let me draw a card, see what that would have been. Backflip. Okay, so I'm going to actually have gotten rid of Backflip as a resource instead of getting rid of combat training. And that was to pay for the web shooter over here. And then I'm going to spend 2 resources plus the free one I get to get Mockingbird out. Mockingbird is going to stun Goblin, and then Mockingbird is going to thwart for 1. So Mockingbird response after she enters play, stun the enemy, and she thwarts for 1. So let's get that down by 1. Pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with where I am right now. I am going to hold on to combat training, I think. Yeah, I'm going aggression. I will do that because I'll be attacking quite a bit. All right, let's ready everything. Let's draw 5 cards. Ooh, webbed up. I got 2 of them and press the advantage. I got 3 of those. Wow. Alrighty, so let's add 1 threat to the scheme. And then force interrupt. When Green Goblin would scheme, remove a madness counter from State of Madness. So I'm going to remove 1, which would take it down to 0. Immediately when it goes to 0, we flip over again. Criminal Enterprises enters play with 2 infamy per player. If there are no infamy, flip. Going to flip Norman Osborn. Force interrupt when Norman Osborn would attack. Instead, place 2 infamy counters. Nope. Force interrupt when Norman Osborn would take any amount of damage. Remove those infamy counters. So nope, that's neither of those things is happening. I am on my alter ego side. He is on his alter ego side. And let's see what threat comes in. The Accused. Alright, so this is a Kree Fanatic card attached to your identity. Force interrupt. When an enemy initiates attack against the attached identity, that enemy gets +1 for that attack. Force response. After Ronan the Accuser is defeated, discard this card. Ow! Attach your identity. When an enemy initiates attack against the attached identity. Wow. Alright, so 1 extra damage against me until I get rid of Ronan. And Ronan's not even in yet. So yeah, there's all of that, which is wonderful, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to heal up here though. Because when I flip him, he is going to hit me pretty hard for 4 more damage again. I was hoping to get my... Aunt May so I could just heal up while I'm on this side. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to spend 1 resource plus my free one to get combat training. That'll get my attack up to 3. And then I am going to heal myself for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then I am going to flip over. I'm going to spend 4 resources to web him up, which hero form only attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy, force interrupt. When attached enemy would attack, discard webbed up, and instead stun them. Now, he is already stunned, so that's going to be 3 attacks in a row that he cannot do, because first one will get rid of the stun, then get rid of webbed up, give him another stun, and then get rid of the 3rd stun. So that's 3 attacks in a row that are being avoided, which... kind of like. There's no real reason for Mockingbird to attack, and she cannot thwart because it's on the risky business side. Again, that's the house rule we're playing with. But I do need to pay 4 for that webbed up. So we're going to press the advantage 3 times, and we're going to spend 1 resource from here. I feel like I've gotten a lot of similar stuff so far, so I'm getting rid of that. Now, unfortunately, the negative of having him not attack for a long time is I'm not going to be drawing cards. But that's a price I'm willing to pay, considering especially when an enemy initiates. So all enemies attacking me are going to get +1 to their attack. No thank you. All right, so add 1 threat to the scheme. And again, I can't do anything about that right now. Right now I am on my Spider-Man side. Oops, I did not untap. Let me do that. And I intentionally did not use Mockingbird this turn. That was on purpose, because all I really could have done was gotten rid of one of these two and then probably attack it to get rid of the last one. But I'd rather just do that with my Spider-Man attack. Let me draw my 4 extra cards. So I am full up again. And yes, you notice I did keep webbed up in my hand. Oh, there's Aunt May. Well, that's okay. At some point, I will be flipping back over again, and Aunt May will be helping me quite a bit. All right, so instead of attacking, gets rid of stunned. Let me make this a little bit bigger too. Now, for those of you out there watching, I'd like to get a little more interactive. Do you guys like playing Marvel Champions? What are your favorite parts about it? Do you like playing solo one-handed? Do you like playing solo two-handed? Let's try to get some interaction in here. And if you don't interact or answer me, then I will just cut this out and we'll pretend it never happened. Alrighty, so let's see. They tried to attack, got rid of their stunned, so now I need to take a card. Alright, I've never played, but I'm interested in the game. It is a fun game, obviously. I wouldn't be doing a weekly stream on it and spending so much time. You'll see, actually, this Saturday, we're doing a stream that's going through our top games of all time, co-op games of all time. I guarantee it wins one of the categories. I'm not going to tell you which one, whether it's my top game, top card game, top small game, top LCG. I don't even know what all the categories are, but it does win one of my categories. And I don't know. I have a lot of fun with it. So I like it solo, one hero. I also like it two-handed as well. So I go both ways. When revealed, choose to either spend 2 resources of any type or give a villain a face-down boost card. Well, I feel like they're never going to attack, but sure. I will spend 2 resources to not give the... Well, I have allies that I could just... You know what? I'm going to give them a face-down boost card. We'll go from there. All right, so give me my 2 resources back, please. All right, so that was their risky business. Or Goblin Gimmicks, I'm sorry. And so now I am going to take my turn. I'm going to use the Helicarrier to bring out Aunt May. She's so sweet. She's going to help me. And when I'm on my alter ego side, I tap her to give me 4 life back. So that'll be nice, especially in a second because it's about to get ugly. So first things first, I attack, which just flips him over. Oh, wait a minute. He was on his Norman Osborn side when he attacked. When Norman Osborn would attack, place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise instead. And Stun says the next time this character would attack, discard this instead. So actually, I think we don't put the 2 things there. I think we do get rid of Stun because he still attacks to do that. So, yep, we're good. Jettersack, big oof on the follower only chat, my opinion. I only play true solo. The best way to learn who is good with what aspect. So the reason we went to follower only chat, in all honesty, is that we don't have like a producer or someone in the background who's getting rid of all these spam bots. So please feel free to follow. If you want to unfollow, if you're not enjoying the channel, you can unfollow afterward. But we don't want spam bots basically coming in, spamming up our chat. We noticed that was a big issue, so we went follower only. But it doesn't cost anything to follow, so please, we love people following. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're not enjoying the channel, then get rid of it. But for now, yeah, we don't have anybody to monitor the chat. Certainly I can go back and forth, but it takes a lot of time away from that. Alrighty, so got Aunt May out, did an attack for 2, actually it would be a total of 3, which basically just flips back to Green Goblin side. And then we are going to thwart for 1 over here, which removes a threat from the scheme. And what do we think? Swinging web kick? I think so. Boom, boom, boom! So that costs 3. Swinging web kick, action, deal 8 damage to an enemy. That is epic. Alrighty. So Jettersack, sorry. You've only played true solo. It's the best way to learn who's good with what aspect. I agree with that, although I will say I think it actually plays very differently. So for example, I have a really good Hawkeye deck that plays really well solo because it can stun, can confuse, keep them really distracted, but it has a real hard time with threat. So, yes, true solo, that deck struggles, and actually if you saw me play Rhino with that deck, you'll see that it struggles. It's really good because you can stun and confuse and keep them busy, but I had a real hard time dealing with the side scheme that came out, and there's not much I could do with it. That deck is really good duo, but I don't think it's good solo. And so I do think you can get a skewed perspective if you're playing solo. I think just different decks are good solo and duo. And I think certainly if you have a good solo deck and you're playing with somebody else with a good solo deck, you'll probably be fine. But I do think there are some cool things you can do in duos that you can't do in solo. But I personally don't want to play two-handed. I'd rather play with somebody else if I'm playing duo. Jettersack. Okay, I can respect that. Yeah. So sorry we're doing the follower only chat, but since it is free, it's easy enough to follow, chat in, unfollow if you want to, but we did want to keep all the spam bots out. I did find that playing with protection is very boring. Yeah, protection is kind of boring as a solo player. It's really good when you can protect somebody else. That way they can be a glass cannon doing tons of damage, or they can focus on doing damage and thwarting but don't have to worry about defending themselves. So protection playing with somebody like Hawkeye could be lots of fun as well. So that's it's some of the cool combos. I think you lose some things playing solo. I think you lose some of that flexibility of making your deck whatever you want, but I do think as far as solo goes, I do like playing true solo as well. It gives me a different perspective on the game, and makes me think about every aspect of the game, whereas I can micro focus more when I'm just playing duo. I made a Hawkeye aggression that can take Wrecking Crew expert true solo. Very nice. Yeah. Wrecking Crew I didn't find threat to be an issue, and that's the weakness I found of Hawkeye. So I could definitely see that. Certainly, though, there are a lot better players than me out there that can do a lot of cool stuff that I haven't been able to pull off, especially like Thor decks. I haven't figured out a good Thor deck that isn't leadership, which I view as, kind of anybody could be good with leadership. But Thor himself, I didn't see him bringing much to the table in that situation. All right, so let's see. I think I am done. So the question is, do I want to flip back over? If I flip back over, then he's not necessarily going to flip back over. And I can heal myself. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? When he flipped over, I am supposed to take 4 damage. I did forget that. I knew there was a reason I was thinking about flipping over. So, that's 4 damage. Yeah, I'm going to flip. And I'm going to use Aunt May to heal that 4 damage. And then I will get to draw up to a full hand size of 6. Unexhaust everything, and then it'll be his turn. So +1 to his hostile takeover scheme, and then force interrupt when Green Goblin would scheme. So he's not going to scheme. He would attack in this situation. Oh, he would scheme. I'm sorry. He would scheme because I am on my alter ego side. So we remove one of these instead. Now I get my hired gun. Nice. Not nice is really what that means. When revealed, choose to either give a villain 1 face down boost card or place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. You know what? I'm going to give him another boost card. If this attack goes through on me, it is going to be no good, but whatever. All right. Now I do also have a 3 health 2/2 over here, which is not something I'm thrilled about. But let's see what I can do about that. All right, first things first, I'm going to exhaust Aunt May to heal me for 4. Well, my max hit points is 10, so that only heals me for 1. Let's see. I have some allies here, and I definitely want to get an ally out. All right, Valkyrie for 3. After Valkyrie enters play, deal 2 damage to a minion, 3 damage instead if you paid for this card using a Lightning Bolt resource. Well, that would take care of this hired gun here, so yes, please. All right, so I do have to pay Lightning Bolt resource. Well, this is a wild resource, so let's do 1, 2, and melee for 3. All right, so that is 3. I'm going to put Valkyrie in play. Valkyrie is going to do 3 damage to a minion. Goodbye, minion. All right, let's see what's going on with the threat. I made a Hawkeye aggression. Oh, okay. Hulk leadership is amazing, actually. Yes, like I said, I think anybody leadership is pretty amazing. Hulk, Captain Marvel, Black Panther have upper hand in leadership due to their resource cards. I agree with that, and another thing about Black Panther leadership is he really wants to cycle his deck, so the more things he can have on the board, the better he becomes. I actually have a Black Panther leadership deck that is very much that, and then there's the card where you can exhaust your allies to draw more cards, so you can really cycle through his deck and get more and more of those Wakanda Forevers. Yeah, no, Black Panther leadership I think is probably one of my favorite decks to play. All right, so I'm going to flip back over because, oh, did I use my free resource? I didn't, so I don't have to use that melee because I get a free resource on this side. So 1, 2, and my 3 to pay for that. And this resource is wild, so I can use it as a lightning bolt, which would have done the 3 damage. All right, we are back on the same page. So let me flip over now. And I might even try to get Black Cat out as well. If you play Black Cat, discard the top 2 cards of your deck and add each with a printed science resource. So you know what? It's going to cost me 2 damage to do that right now, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to use 2 cards, and then I flip the top 2. That does not have a printed science resource. That one does, though. So I get to pull Aerial Swing or Swinging Web Kick into my hand, which is another 8 damage. Oh, ridiculous amounts of damage here. All right. Well, it looks like I can get close to flipping Goblin here. Or not flipping, but taking him out of his stage 1. So that would be 3 damage. 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. Hold on. 3. And so 7 total damage I could do. Or I could do some thwarting, which I think I want to do. All right. So Mockingbird is going to thwart for 1. Let's get that threat down a little bit. And that, unfortunately, would be the last point of damage Mockingbird has. I did not exhaust myself yet because I didn't take the 3 damage off yet. All right, so Valkyrie is definitely going to attack. So that would be 2 damage. 1, 2. And Black Cat is going to... Black Cat can keep attacking without taking damage. If you notice, so this is a very unique card here. If you notice a thwart under it, there's that little star. That means every time she thwarts, she take 1 damage. You'll even notice some characters would have 2 stars. Oh, let me look for my favorite dog. Where's my good boy? Where'd you go? Ah, here he is. Lockjaw over here. So if you notice in Lockjaw's card, he has 2 under thwart and attack. So that means every time he thwarts or attacks, Lockjaw takes 2 damage. But if you notice, interestingly, Black Cat has nothing under attack. So Black Cat could theoretically attack forever. Now, this time, though, I'm going to have her thwart, because taking 1 damage is not the worst thing in the world, because she will still be able to attack forever after that. So I'm going to have her thwart for that 1 damage. And then I'm going to attack for 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then next turn, I'll be able to attack for 3 to get rid of the last 3. And then I will be able to Swinging Web Kick to really get this started. Ooh, I forgot I kept Skilled Strike, which would have let me do 2 more. Well, may as well play it. I'll do 2 more. That means Black Cat will be able to put Goblin in his next form all by herself. And then I can Swinging Web Kick and really swing in with a lot of damage next turn. So I think that is the plan. Well, thank you, Aunt May. You healed me 5 points of damage without me having to do much. And so I'm fully healed up. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot right now. Now, there are 2 boost cards here, so that could turn to a really bad spot really quickly. All right, so adding 1 threat to the scheme. He would normally attack me, but instead we remove this card here and add a stunned over here, which is just so ridiculous. I mean, I'm sorry, that power is really, 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 really good. All right. You dare oppose me? When revealed, discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Each time a card belonging to Kree Fanatic set is discarded this way, deal that card to yourself as a face-down encounter card. Face down, at least. But boy, 5 cards. We're looking not to get Ronin in here. That is not a Kree plan. That is not. That's 2. 3, not also a Kree Fanatic card. Goblin Gimmicks, that's not one. And 5, Risky Business. All right, so we got nothing from that. That was pretty good. All right, so luck is on my side this time. That is for sure. Hulk Leadership is amazing, actually. Yeah, I could see that. Hulk Captain. Oh, yeah, we already talked about that. Alrighty, let's see. I am done with them, so it is to my turn. All right, we're going to have Black Cat attack, doing 1 damage, which will be just enough to advance Goblin. All right, Green Goblin. When revealed, deal 4 damage to each player. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, interestingly, I think his other side said indirect damage, which means I could have dealt it to my allies or whatever, but nope. Now he's just going to deal it straight to me every time he flips over. All right, so wait, did I not draw cards? There's no way I drew cards, so I got to draw 3 more cards. Sorry about that. I am not doing things the correct way here. All right, I kind of feel like I want to web up just to save myself, but you know what? I'm going aggressive here. All right, we will do Swinging Web Kick. That'll be 8 damage. All right, so I need to pay 3 resources. 1, 2, 3 to do Swinging Web Kick. That'll be 8 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down to 14 life. Boom! Alrighty, and then Valkyrie will attack for 2 more damage. 1, 2, boom! And then Spider-Man will attack for 3 more damage. 1, 2, 3, boom! Down to 9 life. So 1 Swinging Web Kick would basically take him down at this point. Now, do I have enough to web him up again? I do not. So I am just going to discard these 2 cards. I'm 1 short of being able to pay for that. And hopefully I don't pay for it in the long run. Even worse. But I'm going to do that for now. I am going to untap everything. I am going to draw 4 cards. Oh, I have a backflip. All right, thankfully. So that's a saving grace right there. So if I do get attacked, I have the backflip. I can avoid all the damage, so all these boost cards aren't going to do anything. Yeah, Spider-Man, pretty good. Pretty good. But for now, he's still stunned, so doesn't do anything. Let's take our threat card. Mad Genius. When revealed, Green Goblin. Yep, Green Goblin it is. Green Goblin attacks the hero with the fewest hit points remaining. If no attack was made this way, the card gains Surge. So he's going to attack me. He's going to get another boost card. Now I'm going to backflip, so don't worry about it. I'm not blocking with anybody because backflip says interrupt defense. When you take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent all of that damage. Which, again, silly good. Alright, so he's attacking me for 4. Plus 1 would be 5. Plus nothing. Plus 2 more would be 7. So that would be 7 damage, which would kill me for sure. But backflip, that is 0 damage. I am sorry. Were you actually planning on hurting me, Goblin? I didn't think so. Alright, so hopefully I can finish it out this turn, although it looks unlikely. Do I get Avengers Mansion out? I think I just web it up and go from there. Alright, so it's 1 damage. Plus 2 more damage, which will unfortunately get rid of my Valkyrie, so that's 3 damage. Plus 3 more would be 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I don't have anything to help me do any more damage, unfortunately. So let's see. I have to do this on my hero side, so that would be 1, 2. Knock that down. 3, 4. Oh, I was supposed to draw a card. Let me do that. When he attacked me, when they initiated an attack against you, you draw a card. Actually, it would have been 1 more damage too because of this accused card, but don't have to worry about that. I'm actually going to hang on to my Web Slinger then and discard Brawn for that extra resource. and that will pay for webbed up. So, Goblin, I'm sorry, man. You've been webbed up this entire game. I feel terrible. Really, really terrible about that. Basically, I got to survive one more turn. I got plenty of stuff to do that. I'm just going to use my Avengers Mansion to get out another one of these web slingers, which is another resource card. 3 web counters on it. I'm going to unexhaust. I'm going to draw my 5 cards. Oops. All right, so I am going to take another threat card. Oh, there's my swinging web kick. Figures. I was 1 short. Oh, if I would have got my Avengers Mansion out, I could have done it, but that's all right. So I'm going to take an extra threat card this turn, but that's okay. This scheme only goes up to 5. You'll see, I mean, as you can see, even without that exclamation, or even with the exclamation point on the other side of this, it's still a pretty easy encounter. I've got the hardest modular encounter set in there with Ronin, and it's still been pretty straightforward and pretty easy. But anyway, it's fun. I don't know. I enjoy the heck out of this game every time I play it. But Goblin's going to attack me. He's webbed up, so gets stunned. Now I am going to draw another one, and let's flip these 2 threat cards, see what happens. When revealed, the villain heals X damage, where X is equal to double the villain's stage number. If no damage was healed this way, discard this card. So, not dead yet. Gonna heal for 6. And let's see what happens here. When revealed, Ronin the Accuser activates against the player he's engaged with. If Ronin the Accuser is not in play, this card gains Surge. They really want Ronin to come out. You dare oppose me? When revealed, discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Each time a card belonging to Kree Fanatic set is discarded this way, deal that card to yourself face down as an encounter card. Alrighty. So, that is not 1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wow. Got rid of Shadows of the Past. All right, well, this was a fairly straightforward, very easy game. Let's just finish it off. Swinging web kick for 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's 8 damage. And you know what? Black Cat, you were going to finish her off. Black Cat does 1 damage, doesn't take any damage herself, and boom! There we go! That is 1 knocked out Goblin. Now, if you want to see the follow-up to this, we're going to do this tomorrow night, Friday night, 10 p.m. We are going to play, I'm not playing Spider-Man this time. Terrence is going to play Spider-Man. I'm going to play Spider-Woman. I may have a deck building episode tomorrow, depends how the day goes. For my Spider-Woman deck, you might see me go through my deck building and other stuff. Need to play this on Heroic. Yeah, Heroic would definitely make a difference. Yeah, it is too easy to manipulate, and I agree it is the worst villain, but I do think it makes a little bit of difference having the exclamation point. You know as well as I do, though, solo can be swingy. We swung real easy this time. No Shadows of the Past, no Ronin came out. I mean, I guess we had 21 cards left in the deck, so there was still a lot. So putting Goblin gimmicks in was probably the mistake I made there. Made it a little bit easier than it should have been. Just a few more cards to go through, not as likely to get some of those really nasty cards. So I wanted to put a little bit of Goblin flavor in this one, but that's all right. We are going to take on Goblin Part 2, which is not nearly this easy, tomorrow night. So that's Green Goblin mutagen formula. Lots of bad guys on the ground. Lots of stuff going on. Terrence is going to play Spider-Man. I'm going to play Spider-Woman. So that's tomorrow night at 10 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye! With great power comes great responsibility. And Goblin saw all that power today.